Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into the Auburn Live Recruiting Show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Live on 3. Today is Wednesday, October the 18th, 2023. If you're not a member of Auburn Live on 3, now is the absolute perfect time to join us. We've got 50% off an annual subscription, so $55 for the entire year, or you can get that first month for $1. It's up to you, man. Make your decision. Either way, come join us. We've got recruiting coverage all this week and next week and every week. Every week that there is a week, we've got recruiting coverage. We've got game coverage. We've got basketball coming up. We've got it all. We've also got this weekend a big football game between Auburn and Ole Miss, a big recruiting weekend for the Auburn Tigers. And here to talk to me and you about it all is Mr. Jhead and Mr. Cole Pinkston. How about you, fellas?
How about you, brother?
All right. They are here 100% of the time when they're here.
That's right. I mean, I got my Bill Belichick sweaty on right now. I just take a couple sleeves off. I'm ready to do business, big dog.
Oh, speaking of big dogs, you need some bird dogs, big dogs. I'm here to tell you, you got to get your big dogs, bird dogs, or bird dogs for your big dogs. You know how good they make you look, fellas. I mean, just look at me. Today, I'm rocking the polo, by the way. I'm rocking the polo. Can you see my polo?
I do.
They make your pecs look, they make you look huge, big dog. They make you on swole, son. On swole. That's on. You see how big I am? Watch this. Watch this. Bird dog. No bird dog. I'm a bird dog under britches on. I love the bird dogs, man. And it's kind of getting out of short season. I have to bust out my bird dog pants. See if I can get into them. I don't think I can. But hey, y'all go to birddogs.com/Auburn, all caps, one word, believe it or not. Or enter the promo code for a free Yeti style tumbler with your order. A bird dog, not Yeti. Let's use the Hydro Flask. Hydro Flask. Go to birddogs.com/Auburn, all caps, one word. Don't forget, bird dogs make you look good. Need I say more? Those shorts they've got, which there's still time to get them now. Got the stretch khaki shorts. They're designed to fit slimmer through the thigh, giving you that sculpted look. Dude, again, I'm out of breath just from standing up. They fit way better than regular shorts that are made of stiff, restricting cotton. We don't like that. Fellas don't like the restricting cotton. They fixed this issue by inventing cloud knit fabric. Man, I'm telling you what, get the underwear. Get the underwear, or you can go commando with the shorts. Either way, Bird Dogs uses anti-stink sweat wicking fabric that keeps you cool and dry all day. I've already showed you what I'm rocking. Get that Hydro Flask, man. No, seriously though, go to birddogs.com/Auburn, all caps, one word. Don't make it two. And get you that free Hydro Flask style Bird Dogs plus some rocking gear. Appreciate Bird Dogs for the big dogs. All right, folks. Hey, what we're going to do today, we always take questions from the corner each week, or we have been since we started. Every week that we started it, we've done it every week.
100% of the time.
100% of the time we do it every week. What has happened in the past since we started these questions is we'll talk about, then we'll get into the questions, and it's asking those. The questions don't know that we've already answered this, so we're going to reverse order. We're going to do questions first, and then at the end of the questions, if we haven't covered something or the questions haven't covered something that we want to cover, we will do so then. We'll try this formula. All right, Zach. Zach's telling me to shut up and just get to the questions. All right, Mace Himdu wants to know if Jamonte Waller attends the game this week. Jamonte Waller, the 4-star edge from Mississippi. What is it? It's not Picayune. Is it Picayune?
Yeah, Picayune.
Picayune. Is committed to Florida. He was at the Georgia game, the Auburn Georgia game. And Mace Himdu wants to know if he comes back this week, how close would you be to putting in a flip prediction? Cole Pinkston, you like Mr. Jamonte Waller. You've been on his recruitment. Let's go to you.
I do. I like Jamonte Waller a lot, and so does Ron Roberts. And I keep continuing to hear, hey, you might hear some more Jack names or people that can play the Jack. This is the guy we want. This is the guy that they're not going to give up on no matter what, all the way to the end. So I do expect him to be back for a game. If it's this week, I wouldn't be shocked. I'll put it that way. Would not be shocked. If he shows up again, I put it in the insider that I wrote last night. Yes, I will be very close to a prediction for him to flip to Auburn. And I really do think it's not just a flip for this guy. I think if he decides to make a decision and leave that Florida commitment, it's Auburn. I don't see anybody else. So that's where I'm feeling on Jamonte right now.
He's on my. I did the On 3 National show earlier. I think it's going to come out tomorrow. But Josh Newberry wanted to know, like, who are some of the guys that you haven't confirmed yet, but you keeping an eye open for them. Waller was one of them. Cam Franklin is another.
Yes.
Cam Coleman is another. He told me 2 or 3 weeks ago he was going to come to the Ole Miss game, but I would rather hear it from his mouth a little bit more recently before saying he's coming. I'm still waiting on that. Haven't received that. But those are 3 guys I'm keeping an eye on. But base him, dude. I'm with Cole. I've got him at 45, I think, on the hot board. If he shows up at Auburn Saturday, might be putting it at 50-50, and that'd be the worst case. All right, y'all tripping. Cole's favorite, y'all tripping. What is the O-line plan? How many from high school, Jhead? How many from JUCO? How many from portal?
So I think the plan has always been 3 to 4 from high school, 1 from junior college, and then the portal would be contingent on what you necessarily lose as attrition. Does Dylan Wade turn pro? Do you have somebody else that leaves the team unnecessarily that you weren't necessarily accounting for? From a numbers standpoint, you're only losing 4 guys off the roster after this season. So you're losing Cam Stutz, you're losing Avery Jones, you're losing who's the backup from Georgia? Jaleel Irvin.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you're losing our big guy that came in from Western Kentucky, Gunner.
Gunner. Yeah.
So you're only losing 4. You've got 16 on the roster right now. I don't know of anybody that's getting processed, but Wade could turn pro early. Somebody else could jump into the portal. So then you're kind of supplementing yourself. But I think this staff has bought in on building it the right way through the high school ranks. They want to make sure that they're taking 4 to 5 guys every year. My understanding is 3 to 4 right now because this is in a great national class from an offensive line standpoint. But if they could get 4 or 5 of high school guys that they really like, I think they'd take them. So that number's a little bit fluid. So stick with us on that one. But my expectation right now would be, and you guys let me know what you think, would be 3 to 4 from the high school ranks, 1 junior college, and then portal would be as needed.
I won't argue with that.
Yeah. 100%.
MD Hill wants to know, what are the odds that we land 1 consensus 5-star this cycle? Cam Coleman, Ryan Williams, KJ Bolden. I think those are about the only consensus 5-stars I can think of that Auburn is in on.
Yeah.
I'm losing.
Close, but I mean, I don't know if they're going to get him. So,
yeah. What'd you say, Cole? I'm sorry, I was talking over you.
No, you're good. LJ McCray is 1, but I don't know. I'm not feeling that too much.
Well, it depends on Ryan Williams to me, right? Like, he's the one to me. If you've got a shot, it's with him.
Well, I feel like what I said about Jamonte Waller and him being, till the end, no matter what, Auburn will not relent on this guy. This is the guy they want. I feel that way about Ryan Williams. I feel that way about KJ Bolden, Cam Coleman, and I really do think it's a small handful of guys who they really will not take no for an answer until it's over.
Sure.
So these are with that. I mean, you look at Perry Thompson, DeMarcus Riddick, and they were able to win some of these. Joe Phillips, great example of that. Walker White. So I think they are capable of doing this again before this cycle's over.
Yeah, not a lot of consensus 5-stars Auburn's in on. Of course, there aren't a lot of consensus 5-stars, period. But those 2, KJ Bolden would be, to me, the best shot in 2020. I'm with you on that, Jhead. Ryan Williams, I would say, is the most likely. KJ Bolden, not too far behind him, believe it or not. And that's just,
I agree.
Auburn thinks they got a damn good shot here.
I tell you the one that I thought to begin with, Cam Coleman, and I just, until he shows back up on campus.
Me too.
I'm just not buying any stock in
and even if he does show up, I'm not seeing these signs with A&M. I just don't know that it's going to be Auburn. I just don't know.
Yeah, that situation is going to be interesting. I mean, watching A&M right now in a tailspin, and you still got Ole Miss and LSU you have to travel to 7-5 get Jimbo fired. And if he gets fired, what does Cam do? But I still, even if Jimbo got fired, I don't have a strong gut feeling he'd come to Auburn. I just don't.
Me neither. Speaking of gut feelings, NSH times AUB. Gut feeling at the time of recording. Where does DeAndre Carter sign? Ooh. Whoa, coming in hot there in a NSH.
That's a good question.
Cole had something about on his insider. I believe it was Tuesday night. Cole, what did you? What's the latest you're hearing on DeAndre Carter?
Yeah, to answer your question, Texas. I have a gut feeling he signs with Texas. I know it's not the news you want to hear, but that's what I'm hearing. And right now, I got him flipping, but I don't think it's over though. At the same time, I do think Auburn's, this is another one of those guys that they realize, we need to try to stay in this the best that we can, no matter what. He chose Auburn for a reason. Okay. He didn't just do it because it felt like the right move at the time. No, I mean, I think he put a lot of thought into it. We'd heard about it for a while. He likes Auburn a lot. Can that outweigh, some of the other things in this recruitment? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Right now, I don't think it will. I think he ends up with Texas, but I do think that Auburn is not out of it by far.
And look, I know people are going to say, well, we can't, get one guy from California over Texas. Texas has been recruiting since Steve Sarkisian got there. They have put a major emphasis on recruiting the state of California. Okay. There are a lot of guys from California on that roster. Texas is a program that's potentially going to be contending for the national championship, and they have every bit the NIL offer that Auburn does on the table.
Yeah. So
to me, yes. Can Auburn stay in this one? Absolutely. I think they're going to. I can't say, to me, it is TBD where he's going to sign. I think it's that tight. When I asked around on this one, I don't think there's a consensus either way, that he's going to stay with Auburn or he's going to sign with Texas. I just don't have a feel on it. But I hear you, Cole. I mean, there's definitely some Texas smoke out there for sure.
On 3 does not like DeAndre Carter, by the way. Unranked, the number 57 interior offensive lineman in the country, while the On 3 industry ranking has him the number 10 offensive lineman in the country.
Damn, man. Where do they have House by comparison?
Oh,
House is pretty low. He's a 3-star. I know that. I'm not sure where he ranks.
See, On 3 has him 82, and so they've got him 82, 35 spots or 27 spots. I don't know how to do math. 82 minus 57 is 25. 25 spots. Is that right? 25 spots behind DeAndre Carter. They don't like either one of those two guys.
Crazy, man.
It is crazy. But, man, I also look at it like, I watched Gunnar Britton against Auburn going against Derek Hall, and he got destroyed at Western Kentucky. Didn't have a terrible game, but he surely couldn't handle Derek Hall. Now he comes to Auburn, and he's one of the most consistent guys, and he's handling guys like that now.
I'd argue Gunnar Britton is your second best portal pickup in this cycle behind Dylan Wade.
Yeah.
It's pretty good when you can get 2 starting linemen out of the transfer portal, isn't it?
Yeah, 3.
You can.
Avery. Yeah, Avery's been struggling, hasn't he?
He has. I think he's still better than a freshman in Connor Lee.
I hear you. I agree.
I think he's a step up from what Auburn's had at center the past few years.
Oh hell yeah, but that don't say much. No offense.
When he's not snapping poorly on 4th down or sending it to Jarquez on 1st down or the 3rd down against LSU or holding or ball illegal snap. Don't get me wrong. That's the only time I notice linemen is when they have penalties.
Yeah,
correct. When they do something wrong, right?
Right.
When they do something right, you don't really you don't notice it.
Nope. That's not fair to them. I will acknowledge that. So,
right
there you go. Disclaimer. All right, Auburn Sarge Wolf 559. How confident are you on a top 12 class? Chances at a top 10 still?
Yeah.
Shoot, I feel better about Auburn's recruiting. I mean, they just got Jordan Crawford to top. I know that's the 2025 class, but it's not like Auburn's losing steam.
I like our chances.
Do you think this is because of the recent decommitments?
Yes, I think the recent decommitments have people a little skittish. And then you look at the production on the field as well, and people are starting to think, okay, you're going to get yourself into the point where people aren't going to see Auburn as being attractive anymore. And I can understand how fans can get to that point. Recruits see things differently, and in year one, they see things a lot differently. So I think you just have to kind of look at it from a different perspective than the normal fan perspective when you're thinking about this.
Yeah. Hard to do, by the way.
It is.
I realize how hard it is. And I say that a lot on our board, Jhead. Hey, recruits think differently than maybe you do, than fans do. That's hard. It's hard to get your mind around that and why that may be, but it's true.
Agreed.
I was trying to look in 2020. Damn, I was looking at Mike Norville's. It was his first season at Florida State was 2020. He won 3 games.
Yes.
He finished with the number 21 class.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Look where he is 2 years later.
Now what they did is they leveraged the portal extremely hard in that first cycle. They didn't do it through numbers. They did it through impact prospects. So if you go back and look, they killed it in the portal that cycle and had to. Honestly, they had, because their high school class did not give them the talent that they needed to get to the point they're at now.
Yeah, only 8 4-stars in that class of 25, 26.
I would argue that they nailed a lot of evals too.
They killed it.
Along with Kalen DeLoach is a guy that comes to mind. That was a guy that Auburn offered, and I thought he was ridiculously good. And then, just kind of he just sort of leaned to Florida State, and that guy's the real deal. It's just guys like that. They got several.
No, yeah, I'm with you on them being nails on recruiting, but believe it or not, that was one of Willie's guys. He's been there that long. Surprisingly.
Yeah, exactly. They gave him a chance to rebuild the program.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good right now.
Auburn currently is at 15th. Sarge, I think 8 to 12. I'm still in that ballpark.
Yeah, 12 definitely doable.
Yeah, I think so. I think 12 is definitely gettable. And with the start you're on in the 2025 class, I think top 10, top 7 is doable.
Absolutely.
On the track you're on.
Eli Double Lot wants to know, what is the latest intel on the Parker trio? Okay. Do we have a timeline for a potential Beaman flip or offered commitment? Cole Pinkston.
Yeah, man, the Crawford commitment is huge. We haven't really gotten to sit down and talk about that, but dude, that is a legitimate interior defensive lineman right there. All right. He's playing next to Beaman, and sometimes you don't see Beaman because Crawford's making the play. All right. Yes, Crawford's commitment helps Auburn with the trio from Parker, 100%,
Mm-hmm.
or the duo behind him, right? Offered, Beaman. The problem with Beaman is we don't have a timeline on his potential flip like we did with Perry Thompson and DeMarcus Riddick. We knew that they were going to do it at a certain point. We don't know that with Beaman. He's not going to release that. It's just going to be something you got to watch really closely. And now that you got Crawford in the fold, we already knew that Auburn had a chance with Crawford. We already knew that Auburn had a chance with Beaman, but that makes it a little bit better for you. I really do think it helps.
I will say this: the latest on offered, I think Auburn is probably very near the top, if not at the top for him. 2025 5-star DB. He's going to Ohio State this weekend. He will be at Auburn next weekend for the Mississippi State game.
Nice.
So keep an eye on him. Buck 1988 wants to know, yes or no, KJ Lacey will be our 2025 quarterback commit. Personally, I think Ryan Williams would approve. I'm not going to argue that.
I think they'd like him to be, if that makes sense.
I do too.
I don't know if I would say he is going to be the guy.
That's what I'm saying. I think they'd like him to be the guy.
Right.
Yeah. Listen, Ryan Williams would like nothing more than to see KJ Lacey at Auburn.
Yes.
That would help tremendously. I don't think it would. It's not going to put Auburn over the top. It's not going to be like, oh, if KJ Lacey's not going to Auburn, I'm not going to Auburn. I don't think that's the case. I think Ryan Williams, if he goes to Auburn, is going to be because he wants to go to Auburn, and then he's going to probably try to get KJ in there with him. Now, good thing for Auburn is KJ is the class after him. If Ryan reclassifies, which I think is more likely than not at this point. So you marry Ryan and you engage KJ, and then just let things fall where they may before the next December.
Yeah. And I would tell you, to me, if you get Ryan Williams, I think the odds of getting KJ Lacey go up significant.
He's yours if you want him.
Yeah. And I think they do.
Yeah.
Well, then count me in. I talked to Ryan a couple of weeks ago about, and I asked him about this, and I actually wish I'd included it in my war room, but that's exactly what he told me. KJ and I want to go to the same school. That's why he's visiting Texas. That's why Ryan's going out to Texas. That's why he's bringing KJ along everywhere he goes. So, yes. KJ Lacey, very, very likely candidate to be at or near the top of the Auburn quarterback board in 2025.
Yep.
All right. Oh, Coachy Rabbit. Cole, why do you like Cohen Eckles so damn much? My God, dude, get a room.
I'm a big fan of Cohen Eckles. For those who don't know, he is an A&M offensive line commit, 4-star with on 3 now. He was the no-star when Auburn offered him a while back. I think Auburn was one of the very first ones to get on him, actually. I like Cohen Eckles because I think he is almost a clone of Dylan Wade. I think he is so close to what Dylan Wade is at Auburn right now. And Dylan Wade's killing it. I mean, you're starting to question, is he going to make it back to Auburn this year, because he could go to the pros and play. Okay. This is what Eckles is. I think Eckles could play guard. I think he can play center. I think he can play tackle. He can play them all.
You just
the reason for that is athleticism, right, Jhead? He's got it, dude.
Yes.
Got a lot of it. One of the most athletic offensive linemen in the entire 2024 class. And he's built just like Dylan Wade, too. We've seen him in person, Jeffrey, once or twice now. He looks just like him. Do you have something to say on that, Jhead?
No, I'm with you. You know, it's very unique when you have a kid that's being recruited, because A&M's recruiting him to play center. Auburn's recruiting him to play guard or tackle. There are other schools that are involved that like him at a different position. You know what I mean? When you see a kid that can play all 3 spots, you grab them, because in this league, look at what happened Friday night. We brought in Muskrat to play guard, right? He kicked out to tackle because he was your next best offensive lineman. You need versatility amongst your offensive line. It is all about playing your best 5. This kid gives you the opportunity to play your best 5 each and every time you're on the field because of what he can do.
Great point.
Next question comes from Holden Megrin. Holden Megrin, are you guys sensing anything going on with Walker White regarding the rumors this week from the corner? This was from Navy 1970, who played golf with receiver's father out in Little Rock, Arkansas, and the receiver's father allegedly told him that Walker White is considering decommitting. And he actually, I think somebody's pulling your leg, big dog. I mean, have y'all heard anything besides this?
No. And I'm not saying this because this is you know what I mean, like a public podcast or anything. No, I haven't heard anything with regard to that.
I thought he was a troll at first, and so I let it go, right? And I think I end up locking it or something. Maybe. This
is recruiting, so nothing would shock me. I've learned to be that way. But I mean,
that would be the biggest shock in my professional career.
To go from recruiting the way he has for this class, like, to all of a sudden hard stop, decommit.
He was just on town. He was just on campus 10 days ago.
Yes, at the Georgia game.
Official visit, his whole family.
How wonderful a visit he had, how bright of a future Auburn has, how much he gelled with the coaching staff, all those things. I don't see it. I get that rumors tend to happen this time of the year.
You know, that dude was like, he's like, hey man, I'm gonna go tell old 1970 tomorrow. I'm gonna tell him Walker White's looking around. Watch this, big dog. I bet you can make it on the corner before Monday.
Not to mention, adding to your list there, Jhead, he probably sees some opportunity at Auburn right now.
What more could you ask for? And listen, let's don't forget about this. Quarterbacks right now, most of them have nowhere else to go. Like, teams have their quarterbacks. Quarterbacks have their teams. This is not decommitment season for quarterbacks.
No, you make that decision. The quarterback race, unless there is a coaching staff that gets fired, you know what I mean? Like, typically speaking, you're done. You're locked in. You don't decommit.
Right. Yeah. So no, absolutely not. Do not believe anything on Walker White except that he is all Auburn all the time. The real Stanzi says, "What's the word on Alvin Henderson?" I texted with Alvin back and forth. Still don't think he's in any hurry to make a decision. He's got homecoming Friday night and then a homecoming dance Saturday. He's going to try to make it to Auburn this weekend, but he doesn't know if he can right now or not. Do y'all still think Auburn is the team to beat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
I think they're the team to beat. I think there are other teams involved, but Auburn's the team to beat.
Sure.
I think Auburn's the team to beat all the way to the end, no matter what happens.
Okay. I agree. Be shocked if he signs anywhere but Auburn. He might commit 3 other places, but in the end, he signs with Auburn.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Bubba AU 33. If and when Ryan Williams reclassifies to the 2024 class, where would he be ranked? Top 5, top 10? I don't know. We don't do the rankings, but we'll give you an educated guess.
Top 30 for sure. He'd be a 5-star.
Yeah, he'd be a 5. I don't think he.
Man, he's the number 1 wide receiver in 2025. I think he would be top 5 in 2024. Top 5 wide receiver.
Yeah.
You got to think if the rankings guys are willing to put a 5-star on a guy so early, they don't really care what class he's in. He's 5-star.
He'll find a way into the top 32 players in the country. I firmly believe that. He's a 5-star.
I'm looking at position rankings. He probably wouldn't beat Jeremiah Smith, Micah Hudson, Cam Coleman, Mike Matthews, or Mylan Graham.
Yeah.
I know Mike Matthews. I know Jeremiah Smith. I know Cam Coleman. I don't know about the other cats. But I would think he would be in there pretty quickly. So 8 wide receivers are 5-stars. So I would say he's definitely the top 8 wide receiver. And let's see where Cam Williams, who is the number 8 wide receiver, he's the number 27 overall recruit. So Jhead, top 30, top 8 wide receiver, 5-star status. Absolutely.
Yep.
All right, good stuff, though. NB Weagle, any updated thoughts on the 2025 targets at linebacker and DB? When I think of 2025 linebacker targets, I'm thinking Zion Grady. I'm thinking
Eric Winters.
I'm thinking the kid from South Georgia.
Is Zion Grady outside linebacker?
Yes.
Okay.
Jack. He might even be a 5 technique.
He's the kind of the CJ May, right? Like they're not pushing for CJ May because they got Caleb Falk and CJ May, the other 4-star from Highland Home, who's committed to Notre Dame.
Right, and I honestly believe he grows into an end. I don't think he's going to stay as an outside linebacker, if we're being honest. No, is it Tevin Wallace or is it Travion?
Tavion.
That's it.
Yeah, he's a big one.
That's what I'm tracking. Eric Winters, I'm tracking. I'm trying to think of other inside linebackers to track.
Thing about it is, all we have to go by right now is that Josh Aldridge gets the guys he wants at linebacker.
He really does, doesn't he? I mean,
it's probably not a huge, extensive board. I mean, he's probably got 3 or 4 guys. He's like, I'm going to get that guy. That's the one I want, you know?
Yeah. I mean, he's done a good job. That's for sure. You got to give Josh his flowers. He's mobbed up real quick down here.
I'm just looking through some of the offers. Tavion Wallace, Jaden Perlotti, you remember him?
Yeah.
Let's see anybody else. Jacoby Hobson, remember Jacoby? Oh no, he's just a guy right now.
Well, I mean, he's on there, but you're right. He's probably not up there in the very top.
We of course 2025 DBs would be Naeem Offord.
Yes.
I'm trying to look for some in-state, maybe some Georgia guys. Chris Ewald.
Yeah, he's interesting.
Ewald, whatever. Oh no. Why does that name sound familiar?
Yeah, he's been twice. He's been
okay. All right. He's a Michigan commitment, I think.
Right.
Let's see. Anybody else? Dylan Lewis. Anquan Fegans. There you go.
Yeah.
Listen, I was told about him last week. Keep an eye on the kid from Thompson. Anquan Fegans, 4-star safety, plays with Caleb Harris there at Thompson. He is Eric Winters. Eric Winters is listed as a safety.
And he plays safety in high school. For Enterprise, he plays a good bit of safety, but I think they project him at linebacker, and that's where we've got him listed.
Enterprise's quarterback went down this year, so Eric Winters has been playing quarterback for them.
And what about Kid Country's boy, Derek Smith? Is he a
receiver? Okay.
Yeah, he's listed as an athlete. Want to make sure I didn't lose.
If Ryan Williams reclassifies, Derek Smith might be your number 1 guy for 25.
Oh,
I think he would be.
He is legit.
Good question here from Buck 1988. Your best guess on which 2024 prospects on the O-line that signed with Auburn out of high school? So some potentials. I think you've got Khalil House flipping to Auburn.
It's really just two that I feel really confident in, and that's Khalil House and Favor Edwin. I like those two signing with Auburn. After that,
go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think watch the Michigan State decommitment. That's one. If you get him in for an OV, watch that one.
AJ Dennis.
And then I am very interested. Obviously, you've got the kid from Madison that I'm still paying attention to in Baker.
Reese
Baker. But I'm watching that A&M situation. I'm serious when I say I think they're going to fire Jimbo if he gets to 7-5. I believe that. I think they think that it's putting it off another year, and they're still having to pay him $10 million to coach next year when you don't have a whole lot of hope. If that happens and Cohen Eckles starts looking around, Auburn's put a lot of work into that one. I'm paying attention there.
Cole, what do you know about Auburn's interest in TJ Lockhart?
Yeah, I don't really hear his name much. He was there for Big Cat. That's all I know. I don't hear his name at all.
He I messaged with him earlier this week, and he says he's hearing a lot from them, and that he hasn't set a date, but he plans to visit. Isn't he committed to Mississippi State?
Yeah, he is.
Okay. Well, anyways,
I think there's actually a lot of guys that you could reach out to, and they'd go, "Hey, I'm hearing a lot from Auburn." It's once again this what's the word? Selectivity that they seem to have, Auburn. Like, I have these, and I don't really want to go below this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that going on that we don't 100% know who might move into that category. I think it's possible for some of these names that we are hearing about, like Lockhart, to move into that category, though.
Okay, that makes sense. It does. I mean, they're not obviously not pushing hard for him.
Not yet.
I don't think so, but I could be wrong on that. I just haven't heard his name.
Bowen Arrow wants to know any basketball recruiting news. Yeah, I've got some news. Basically, it's a no news. The news is that there's not much news right now. Auburn is expecting to have a couple of unofficial visitors in this weekend. Nobody of note, really. If there's an addition later this week, I'll let y'all know. Jasper Johnson was going to come in for an official visit this weekend. He has decided to postpone to a basketball weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Jasper Johnson from Link Academy. He's the number 13 overall recruit in 2025. He's from Lexington, Kentucky. The number 1 combo guard in the country. I think he must be playing in Missouri. Oh, the Link Academy. He's the number 1 player in Missouri. So he's a 24/7 Sports 5-star, an ESPN 5-star, and an On3 4-star. But he was going to come in this weekend for an official visit. He'll come back during basketball season. So not a lot this week. That Nick Cody guy is going to visit next weekend. He's going to announce his decision shortly after that. I'll have more on him next week. Average Bavarian. Who was your favorite under-recruited player that Auburn found and developed into a key player? This is a great question.
There's a lot.
I know. I got mine off the top of my head right now.
Go for it. Throw me some ideas out here.
Daniel Thomas.
Thomas.
Good one.
Love that kid. 2-star that T-Rob found, and then Crime Dog capitalized on it after T-Rob left to go to South Carolina. And you're talking about a kid that came in and started at the nickel and played all 4 years at Auburn. Absolutely love that kid.
Well, remember Tyrone Green?
Yes.
Tyrone Green was a 2-star offensive lineman that nobody wanted. Auburn took him. He's played in the NFL for about 10 years with the Chargers, last I heard.
Sure did.
I think mine's Darren Bates.
Oh, good one.
Good one.
Was good, man. He started as
who was his teammate? Trivia.
Sean Coleman.
Really?
Sean Coleman was the 5-star. Darren Bates was the 2-star.
Yeah.
Sean was a 3-star out of Olive Branch, Mississippi. Jeffrey covered that recruitment from start to finish. That kid went to a 4-star to a 5-star and then just blew up, man.
This might not make any sense to some because he was actually a 4-star by some sites. Jalen Simpson is the guy that comes to mind with this.
Yeah.
Do you remember it was a duo deal? They got his teammate Jashawn Sheffield, and it seemed like more press around that guy than there was Jalen Simpson.
There was. Well, that's because early in the recruitment, Jashawn, was it Jashawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the 4-star. Jalen was the little 3-star. So they would go to trips together, and Jashawn would get all the headlines, and it was like, oh, yeah, and his 3-star teammates here too, and Auburn wants him too.
Yeah, right.
But it was 4-star visits, and, his teammate was the second note. And, man, I'll never forget Jashawn looking up A-Day that game. He looked so disinterested. I thought that dude's never coming to Auburn. He committed about a week later.
He was the one getting all the press, and then they were like, and Simpson's coming too. I was like,
and Simpson got that late postseason bump to a 4, if I'm not mistaken.
He did.
Well, he was an everything guy. He played quarterback, and
wide receiver sure did.
He was small. You'd look
St.
at
Simon's Island.
I'll give you 2 more, both out of Mobile. You probably know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Roger McCreary, Nick Fairley. Nick was like a 2-star guard out of high school that went to JUCO and became a 3-star DL.
Crazy.
Roger, 2-star that became a 3. He was committed to South Alabama. Boy, I tell you what, man, Greg Brown could ID some defensive backs, could he not? Bring that man back and his Crocs. I don't care if he's constantly watching walking the frozen food aisle at Kroger or not. Bring him back to let him ID DBs.
To go off of this, is there anybody on the commit list right now or anybody from last year's commit list that sort of reminds you of this kind of player? Right now, to me, almost the spitting image, like the clone, like I was saying about Dylan Wade and Cohen Eckles, of Jalen Simpson for me right now is Colton Hood. I mean, he's everything's almost the same in how he was recruited and he was a quarterback and he was all this and he was a little bit small, but now you see him walking around, you're like, good Lord, who is that guy? He looks totally different. Like, man, that doesn't even look like Colton, In
this class, I think you nailed it in the past class. In this class, I think probably going to be the kid out of Thompson. I am really impressed with his film. I didn't think I was going to be honest with you. When I started hearing that name, I turned it on. I was like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? Like this is better than I thought.
Yeah. Let me tell you when I knew Caleb Harris was legit. I was at the Hoover-Thompson game last year. I actually put out a tweet about a guy this morning that made a sack for South Alabama last night. That guy in that game was responsible for a couple points for Hoover. It was 9-0 was the final score. Hoover beat Thompson in that game. He had a pick off of a batted ball at the line of scrimmage and took it like all the way down the goal line. Anyway, the guy that stood out in that game was Caleb Harris. He was the one. And I was like, I better get some video of him. And I actually haven't. I need to share that. But he was taken out of the game. Neither team was throwing the ball at all. I mean, they probably threw the ball maybe 8 to 10 times apiece.
Mm-hmm.
And he decided, you know what? I'm a safety. I'm fixing to be a linebacker today. And he got up in the box. He started throwing linemen around. He slid in there one time and made a huge hit on the quarterback. And I was like, that guy, like, he has some game-changing ability. Like, he's pretty good.
Kids like that have that lunch pail mentality, man, and they got that dog in them. They just love football. He's one of those kind of kids, man. And we'll talk more about him when we talk about, I think, probably our next talking point in a potential decommitment, or no, not a potential one that did decommit, and where you might be getting a lot more upside with a 3-star than you were going to have with a 4-star.
Right.
Yeah, Auburn has lost two defensive backs in the past 8-9 days. The first one was Jalewis Solomon, the 4-star from Schley County, Georgia. Yes. Decommitted. He's already committed to South Carolina. I don't want to toot our own horns, but everybody's asked us on this show before who's the most likely to decommit. We all said it was going to be Jalewis Solomon. We all thought it would be Jalewis Solomon because he was so close to South Carolina before. Well, so I wasn't shocked at that. I think Auburn wasn't expecting that when it happened. Since then, on Tuesday, Jaden Lewis, the 4-star from Anniston, decommitted. And I didn't realize this. Y'all told me before the show that people were freaking out about this. That means we didn't do our job very well. Jaden Lewis, Auburn told a couple of guys last Monday. I mean, like 8 days ago. And one of them was not Jalewis Solomon. They told a couple of guys last Monday that they needed to look at other places. Basically, we're breaking up.
Yeah.
We're breaking up. You can do it when you want to. You can announce when you want to. You can not announce. You can just wait until you find another home. They didn't put any kind of requirements or anything other than you're not signing with Auburn. We're no longer interested. This is like re-eval season, right? I mean, this is halfway through the high school season. They're all looking at this tape from the first 5-6 games and going either, yeah, you're what we thought you were, or nah, I feel like we can do better. So Jaden Lewis was one of those guys last week that Auburn said, look elsewhere. And so if people are freaking out, they shouldn't be.
I want everybody to kind of walk through this exercise. If you're listening to this podcast, that means that you are completely into recruiting. You are a recruit Nick, okay? You are what Cole and I were before you started doing this when we were listening to Jeffrey. You pull up the huddle highlights of both from midseason. Watch them.
Both who?
Of
Jaden Lewis and Caleb Harris?
Of Caleb Harris. Don't look at their star rating. And you tell me which one's the 4-star and which one's the 3-star. Okay? Just do the Pepsi challenge here for me. You know what I mean? And tell me which one's the 4 and which one's the 3. And I promise you, when you watch Caleb Harris's high, and I'm not saying this because he's a potential commitment to Auburn. I'm saying this because it's legitimate. And this is not, look, to the best of my understanding, Lewis is a great kid. I hope that he lands somewhere else and thrives in everything that he does. But I think Auburn made a hard decision, and you have to make hard when you're rebuilding a roster,
right.
The roster the way we are. You have to make hard decisions. And they made a hard decision to go in a different direction and put somebody in this class that fits more of what they're looking for from that position.
Listen, you could probably make an all-star team with the guys that Auburn decided not to take, okay, because they thought there was somebody better out there. Yeah. That's just the reality of, hey, we have an eval. We have to stick to our guns here. This is what we believe. That's what you do as a coach. You have to do it. It's part of the business that this has become. You want it to be a business? It's a business now, okay? This is how it works. Some guys don't get to stay. Some guys, go elsewhere. That's just how this works. It's a business. So, that doesn't mean anything about Jaden Lewis. He runs like a 10-7 100 meter. I mean, the dude's going to be fine, okay? He can play. But they just think they have a better fit somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's where they're going to roll with.
We don't think that's going to be the last decommitment. Still looking at least one more. Let's talk about commitments. All right, let's get off the negative onto some positive. So a big group of visitors are expected to come in this weekend. 2 official visitors, both are JUCO guys, both with Auburn ties. Laquan Robinson, the junior college safety from Holmes, Mississippi, or Holmes Community College in Mississippi. Brian Taylor, the 3-star defensive lineman from Blinn, Texas, Blinn Community College in Texas. Cole and I and Jhead we're all unanimous on this. If Jhead could put in a prediction, I'm sure he would have before us. Laquan Robinson, Jhead, coming in for an official visit. Your take on him?
Much needed safety target in this class. So you have Zion Puckett, who's potentially going to graduate and move on after this season. Jalen Simpson. Both Zion and Simpson have another year, but I think it's unlikely that either one or both will come back. And so with that being the case, you're losing your 2 most experienced safeties in this class. This is the guy that can come into your 2 deep right away. He can play the boundary. He can play the field. He can pretty much do it all. He is an absolute striker, a hitter, and a turnover machine. He's the kind of guy you need in this class. And when you're losing that much of a veteran presence as you are, and potentially Simpson and Puckett, you got to replace it with somebody that's had some snaps before. And whether you do that through the portal or whether you do that through junior college, I think that's a situation that had to be addressed. And Laquan Robinson meets a lot of the criteria of what they're looking for in a guy that can step in and play right away.
I think Auburn, he's definitely on our commitment watch. I think Auburn would love to get this done. I kind of felt like he was pretty close 2 weeks ago for the Georgia game. Curious to see if he goes ahead, and would it be a huge, huge addition for Auburn. He is the number 1 ranked junior college safety in the country, according to the On3 industry ranking. He also is the number 5 overall recruit, junior college recruit in the country. From Greenville, Alabama. His father's a big Auburn fan. We'll see if Zach Etheridge and the boys can get it done this weekend. Another tie to Auburn, Brian Taylor, the junior college defensive lineman For some reason, he's ranked as an edge, but he's 6'5", he's 290. He's a D lineman if I've ever heard of a D lineman.
Yeah.
He's the number 13 overall junior college player in the country. He's from Blinn, Texas, but he was originally from Houston, Texas. He plays in Blinn Community College, but he's originally from Houston. Cole, you've written some stuff on Brian.
Yeah, Jeffrey, I actually think you're going to be pretty shocked when you see him.
Oh, really?
Because he does not look like he weighs 290.
Okay.
That is a testament to his frame and his build and how lean he is at that weight. Knowing that, I'm like, man, I mean, this guy right here, there's a lot you can do with this guy. I think he's a priority for the staff. I mean, in my eyes, this guy's about as good as you're going to get this quick to go ahead and help you out on the defensive line. So I do think there's going to be a push for him while he's there this weekend. He's got Florida and Georgia also on his official visit lists. So that tells you a lot too. They're pretty good with evals. Obviously, Georgia's they're okay. I mean, they've done just fine, I guess. So this guy's got a lot of big fish after him, and Auburn's got a chance to really – I don't know if they can close the deal this weekend, but they sure can come close, I think.
He has an official visit scheduled to Georgia next weekend. He's got Tennessee in November, and he's got Florida in November. So this dude's got some – he's playing in the SEC next year. Be curious to see what he has to say after he leaves. Speaking of commitment watch, I think, Cole, you had Caleb Harris before anybody else. I don't know. Have you put in a – didn't I put in a –
We both have.
Okay.
Pretty high.
Okay. Caleb Harris. My people think he could. It's more likely he leaves or commits in the next, let's say, week. 7 days from now, he's on the commitment list.
Yep.
Okay. Love him. Everybody loves him. I love him because he's a Thompson.
Yeah, that's a big deal, isn't it? I mean, yeah, Thompson is. That's been sort of a.
When's the last? Has Auburn signed a player from Thompson?
No, not since Mark Freeman got there.
There's been a gate around that school for Auburn. They're about to open it up, and then what happens? Once they get that door open, what else happens? I'll just say, though, I love physical football players. You're going to blind me every time if you maybe have speed deficiencies or other things. If you're just dadgum physical, I can't help it. I just love those type of football players. Caleb Harris, Laquan Robinson, I'd be saying, come on down. Yeah. You guys can do it 100%.
Well, and I think Caleb Harris, whereas Laquan to me is purely a safety. I think you got an opportunity to develop that young man at 3 different positions. He could be a safety if his body stays where it's at. He could play the nickel. He could develop into, a money linebacker like we've talked about. I think he's a kid that can affect at 2 different levels of the defense. I'm contingent on how his body develops. But I'm with you, Cole. He's a football player, right?
Yeah.
He's a football player. And Auburn under Tommy Tuberville loved guys like this. These were the kind of guys that he went and plucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just, they just produce. Maybe they're not the best NFL draft pick, but they just produce.
Exactly.
Some other visitors of note this weekend. We talked about the 2 JUCOs, the 2024 list. Let's see here. A bunch of commitments. Kylan Fox. 4-star tight end from where's he from? Georgia. From Owen Papo's neighborhood.
Yep. Grayson.
UCF commitment, and he's going to be in town. Caleb Harris, another one. Kind of the only non-commitments I have right now. But again, keep an eye on these other guys. Keep an eye on some other guys. 2025, Micah DeBose confirmed with me before we came on the show. Matter of fact, he is a top 20 overall player in the 2025 class. He's committed to Georgia. He's a big dog. I think he's the number 1 interior offensive lineman in the 2025 class.
I think he is.
And
Ryan Witt.
Got the feet to play tackle. I'm sorry, Jeffrey.
Okay, no. Ryan Williams, Caleb Cunningham, 2 of the top 4 wide receivers in the country next year, including I think it's 1 and 4. I think, or maybe Ryan's number 2. Let's see who else. Jordan Crawford, you knew commitment. And a couple of the tight end heavy this week. You got this kid from Kansas coming in, Lincoln Cure, and then another kid, Ty Root from Texas coming down, and then Hollis Davison from Peachtree City, Georgia coming. So again, check back Friday, man, because some of these bigger names are kind of a little hesitant to put out there what their weekend plans are.
Mm.
Did I put DeBose on here? Yeah, he's on there. But yeah, it may not be. Is this going to be a night game, right?
Yeah, 6 o'clock.
It may not be as big as the Georgia game. At least it's not shaping up that way right now.
Doesn't feel like it anyway.
Right.
This
Get a couple of key guys there.
Yeah, you're going to have important visitors there. That's the thing. But you're also going to have. I promise. I feel very confident. We're going to have to go. Hey, surprise visitor.
Yeah,
we got one.
Yeah,
I feel real confident about that.
Right now, like I said, I think we said this. We said this was live. Jamonte Waller's a guy I'm keeping an eye on. Cam Coleman, Cam Franklin, guys like that haven't confirmed, but those could easily be. Hey, Cam Coleman just walked through the tunnel. He told me he wasn't coming, but here he is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that. We will do our best to keep it up, man. All right, let's get some how about yous and get the hell out of here.
Okay.
How about yous? I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, and I've got 9.
Woo. Woo.
So I'll bat cleanup.
All right.
Cole, you want to go ahead and go first?
Yeah, I will. I'm going to go MLC, Jeffrey. That's just MLC.
Okay.
I find it fascinating. I gave Deb for AU one a couple weeks ago when we have, females, when we have ladies on the board, because it's sort of a dude thing, But if you're a big Auburn fan, I mean, this is the place. Auburn Live. We got it. We got you covered from every angle. And I think MLC has really become a big member in the past month. I've seen her on a lot of stuff. She's pretty much comments on everything I do. She's on our YouTube show all the time. MLC.
All right. Times 2 MLC.
And then I'll go Matt McT is my other one.
MATT.
MATT_MCT.
Okay. How about you, Matt_McT? Mr. Jhead.
I am going to go with Kid Country or Country Kid, whatever he's going by these days on the tournament.
There is a Country Kid. Is that him?
Yeah. I'm almost positive it's Edward.
I think it is.
Yeah, I think something happened there. Not exactly sure. Anyway, swapped a couple DMs with him. Just really appreciate what Edward brings to the board. So how about you, big dog?
Kid Country is Edward from Selma.
Okay.
Yeah.
He used to be Kid Country. Now there's a Country Kid. I think that's him.
I think that's him too.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
You think he's changed his name?
His subscription might have run up, and he may have made a new one. That's what I'm thinking.
You know what? Kid Country, the last time he was seen was September the 9th.
That's what I'm saying. And
Country All right. Kid. Country Kid.
Edward and I, Jhead, we've become friends. I hung out with him the whole night when I went to see Derek Smith.
Mm-hmm.
He added me on Facebook. The food he cooks, dude.
Oh, yeah, I gotta get some of it, brother. I'm telling
you. No, let's not talk about that. I'm so hungry right now.
That's why Jeffrey needs to get on the podcast right now.
I'm so hungry.
Some fried chicken and some.
Oh, look at Jeffrey's face.
Was it crispy?
You're not doing that intermittent fasting right now, are you, big dog?
Oh, I'll give up on that.
The fried chicken that Edward put up, it reminded me of Red's Old Schoolhouse. I'm not gonna lie. The way
if y'all haven't been Red's Old Schoolhouse, whatever it is, they should pay me because.
Great.
Y'all leave me alone for about 3 minutes.
I'll drive to South Montgomery just for it. I will do it.
I told my dad he should. That's my dad's kind of place. He'll tear that up. Man, I love the salad bar, dude. They got these cold silver plates.
And you know what? I don't like Thousand Island, but for some reason I love it there.
Okay.
I tried it one time. Somebody was like, "Hey, we make the best Thousand Island." I was like, "I don't really like Thousand Island." I tried it. Oh my gosh!
I'll give it a shot. I'm more of a ranch man myself. But I started out with Thousand Island,
and they got that good ranch too.
Oh, it's so good. Homemade good ranch. Oh my goodness! All right, Country Kid, Jhead. Anyone else?
That's it. It's just okay. Kid this week, and I'll have a longer list the next time.
What is Anthony's?
ASWE, I believe.
Make that squared for me. ASW because of him coming on and clarifying after the show. Shout out to Anthony. Love him.
Yes. Listen, I love Anthony. He's one of, if not our best callers on the call-in show on Sundays. If you haven't listened to the show, get on there on Sunday nights and hope Anthony calls in. He will intelligent you.
It is ASWE all caps, Jeff.
ASWE all caps. Yeah, he'll learn you a thing or two.
Yes,
all right, how about you, Garrett Mashburn? How about your Garrett Mashburn?
Garrett.
Listen, anybody who uses their real name,
I love it
on this site. How about you, big dog?
Can't get over Bruce.
Anybody who doesn't use their brother's login.
Hey.
Oh, that's good.
How about you, Garrett? All right. How about you, NC Tiger 234? How about you to BK11AU? How about you to Lieutenant Aldo Rain?
Yes.
How about you to NB22? How about you to Ryan 141414? How about you to Vulcan Tiger? How about you to Weagle06? And how about you to C Richie 8?
Okay.
I didn't get any. Maybe all these are terrible posters or something. I don't know. Why didn't anybody go, yeah, I like him. Oh, yeah, he's a good one.
I'm gonna be honest with you. After Aldo Rain, I kind of tuned out. Just being honest.
Kind of like me watching the LSU game the other night.
Yeah, I'm here.
Have y'all noticed that John Fly WDE has taken over as the liker? He likes everything. Every single post, he likes it.
Interesting. Is God Cammett still around?
Yeah, he does it too. But John Fly is sort of coming,
I'm going to keep my eye on old John Fly now. He needs to get his own stick. I know old God Cammett.
No, make sure he's not a bot.
That's
right. You got to do that.
Yeah, you wonder. You're like, man, he likes every single post.
John Fly does?
He does, man.
Okay.
Go open a thread right now. He's liked something in there, I promise.
I'm gonna test your theory.
I'm doing it. Of course, I'm not finding it right now.
Oh my God, he did it! The first one, it's liked by God Cammett and John Fly, and so is the next one, and so is the next one. Oh, John Fly! All right,
we like you, John Fly. Keep.
So listen, I'm big. How about you to God Cammett?
There you go. He doesn't get enough love.
Yeah. John Cammett, yeah, I mean John Fly, you're on deck. I'm gonna keep my eye on you. All right, Jim.
John Cammett.
John Cammett, yeah. Oh, John Cammett. All right, well let's end it there, man. Don't forget to go to birddogs.com/Auburn, all caps, one word. Get you a free hydro style type bird dog flask, canteen, whatever you like to call it. birddogs.com/Auburn. Use the promo code Auburn. We will be back. What's today? Wednesday. We'll be back Sunday. Us three will for the call-in show 6:30 on our YouTube show. By the way, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the notifications, man. We're trying to get. Ultimately, we'd like to get 10,000 subscribers on that YouTube channel. Yep. I think we're pushing 8.
We are. We're pushing. We're right at 7.5. We're pushing 8.
Okay, so that's pushing 8 in my opinion. So go like, subscribe, turn on those notifications. Anytime a video is uploaded, you will get notified. Don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe to Auburn Live on 3. It's a perfect opportunity. $1 for the first month or $55 for the entire year. And I know the math doesn't add up, but once you pay, once you do the first month for $1, you'll be paying the regular monthly price of $10 a month. So, or $8. I can't remember. Anyways, it's cheaper to go ahead and get that 50% off annual subscription. Trust me. It's $4 a month, I think, a little bit more if you do it that way. All right, that's going to do it for us, man. We appreciate everybody listening. We appreciate everybody watching. We absolutely do. We love you. We appreciate y'all. For Jhead, for Cole, for Zach in the back, I'm Jeffrey Lee. Y'all stay at that left lane. See you.